All right, testing, testing. Welcome in, guys. Wow, some of you I haven't seen in a long time. Welcome in. We're gonna go ahead and just talk about the new service that I'll be offering. But before we do that, I do want to share just from this hourly chart what has happened over the last week on the S&P. Um, on the chart right now, you are seeing technically proprietary levels here. Um, but what has happened over the last week is we've been in a lot of chop, right? Ever since April 25th here, we've been in this little flag, got the pullback and popped up and chopped around some more up here. And I just wanted to show you, since we're talking about a subscription to the levels that I'm sharing here, I wanted to just share with you what happened inside of the two chop sessions for the last week and just show you how accurate these levels have been, despite the fact that it has been pretty choppy. So last, I believe, going into the end of last week, this must be Friday here, you can see they came up right to that first level there. They tagged it and basically pulled back to the tick off of it all through the pre-market and then, or through the overnight. And then they pushed through and then pull back, and they came right down to that next roadmap level, which was the low of the day. And then they popped out and they came right up to that next level. So they missed it back on Friday of that week, but then came down, held that, and came right up to the next one. And then they came right to that little intermediary one right there, held that, and came right to that next level. So we quite literally, traded right into these levels perfectly. Even though it was chopping around, we were literally back and forth. This is a little scalp level they came right to, came back up, came down right to that level again, and then we popped through that next roadmap level and came to the tick, right to the next one. That was the high of the day for there, pulled back, and then we came up and used that again for the major high of the day in the pullback, and then we had this major sell-off only to come right to the next roadmap level there, gave it a kiss, and then we began this push out. And on that push out, if you look, we came up right to that next roadmap level, pulled back, and then used this level for the launch out to this to the end of this week. So even though the market chopped all through last week and coming into this week, they still made the major highs and lows of the days right off these levels. So again, these are the levels I will be offering on a quarterly basis. Basically, when the market rolls over into a new contract, all of the major roadmap levels you see on the chart here all get updated. And it's not just as simple as taking the level, adding the difference between the old contract and the new contract, and plotting it. There is a little bit of, there's discrepancies between each contract. So these levels get recalculated, and they're typically on the chart within the first few days of the rollover. So, and then you can see here just in the last day or two, yesterday's high, they came right up. Well, first of all, they came right up into this roadmap level and got the big pullback. And that's not just a couple points. That was 57 all the way down to 27 for a 30-point pullback right off that level in the pre-market, right? That happened there. And then we came up, and yesterday's high was quite literally a point in front of that next roadmap level. We got the pullback, and now you can see coming into the this morning here, it's just kind of chopped around. But what was the overnight high? If you had this level on your chart last night, you fade that level, you got the whole pullback coming into the open here, right? And then what happened just a couple minutes ago? We just had the NFP news drop, and we are popping out from there, right? And if you look on the pullback there, we actually came right to our little small scalp level and got the bounce, and now here we are breaking out, right? And on the way up here, basically what they've been doing, they came right into that first roadmap level, pulled back, peeked through, and then came down, and we held our next, one of our short time frame roadmap levels to the tick, bounced out, came down right to that next roadmap level, and the same moving average there, and now you can see we're popping out. So these are the very levels that I am going to offer on a subscription basis. They will be available, like I said, usually right around the rollover, and then these will basically be permanent there for the entire quarter. And then we do have some smaller intraday levels that we update and give out every morning as well, along with a news report as far as what signals are we dealing with. So, for instance, on the 60-minute here, you can see that pretty much every 60-minute signal leads the major push, right? But we also look at what the 4 hour is telling us. And on the 4 hour, not just maybe a day and a half ago, right when they came down and got the bounce off that roadmap level almost to the tick, and which has led to now a 300 point push. So just imagine if you got long here with maybe a 4 point stop, and you just made nearly 200, 300 points in the matter of, one day. And that's basically what happens day in, day out. There's the major swing high off the roadmap level. There's the major swing low off the roadmap level. And now here we are trying to come break out now. And yesterday we failed 1 point in front of that next roadmap level. So you can see the allure of having these levels, because we know that if they're going to hold within a couple points, and they could be the scene of the next major rotation, right? So if you're interested, you can go to the website, sproadmap.com, sign up. I think it's a pretty fair offer, $100 a month, less than $100 a month if you do pay for the full year, so all 4 quarters. And, that's it. We are giving a free offer. So if you do sign up, and let me go ahead and grab the website really quick here. If you do go ahead and sign up for the, what just happened to my buttons here? If you do sign up, and I don't know what happened here, I might have to update something on the website. We do have an annual, there it is. We have an annual subscription. So if you do purchase the annual subscription, I'm going to give you the free download of the daily power level. So this is a permanent, or, until there's no more Ninja Trader, you'll have that daily power levels indicator. You download it. It's on your computer. I don't control it. I can't kick you out of having that indicator once it's downloaded on your system. So you have that. And again, if you purchase the annual subscription, you get the daily power levels. And in addition to getting the levels, you're also going to get 24 hours of training webinars. There's actually more than 24 hours, which is, it's basically an entire masterclass course coming in free with your subscription. We're going to do some live broadcasts throughout the quarter there. And then you'll get that morning news report, which has all of the signals on the higher time frames, what is cluing in for the next rotation. We did basically call the pullback from the all-time highs, and once we started to follow through from the all-time highs, let's go up to the weekly chart here. As we broke below this swing low around 60.77, we were telling everybody we could be in for a multiple 1,000-point pullback. So that's something to also consider. Getting alerts for when we are expecting major rotations in the market. So you got that as well. And if you're interested in anything else, obviously we do have one-on-one coaching where I'll be meeting with you on a bi-week, well, basically twice a week. Or you could purchase the 3-month masterclass that we did a year or two ago, which gives you all the details of everything. But I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning. I know that there are some people who were asking, hey, can I purchase the course but pay you like a couple $100 a month until I pay it in full? And that's why I just basically gave this offer, $100 a month, $300 if you can't afford that. You shouldn't even be looking at trading. And that way you get everything that I do every day. And you get access to, in my opinion, probably the most accurate levels that you can possibly find on the S&P in the world. I will stand by that because day in, day out, we watch the market basically rotate back and forth between all these levels. So that is it, my friends. If you want a sneak peek here. Give me a second. Let me find my 60-minute chart again. I always seem to do this. Where is it? There's the 330. Did I delete it? I don't think I did. Here we go. So coming into this morning, just to kind of give you a clue as to what the charts are saying here on the higher time frames, obviously looking from the weekly here, you can see there was a nice clean bullish signal from here. Not my favorite bullish signal, but it was there. And we are starting to get this huge push, and we are now way above the 50% retracement of the major sell-off from the all-time highs. So you can see we're coming right up into the 61.8 right now. That is a critical area. And we also do have, I think on the 4-hour you can see it, we do have, maybe it's not on there. It's on the daily. So we do have as well the 27 extension of the very leg that we're pushing out of, lining up right there at the 61.8 as well. So we're almost right there. 5700 to 5718 is the 27 extension. That is an area of expected resistance because, again, it's an alignment between the bearish leg that we're currently retracing and the bullish extension of this very leg, this big push we got that day, those couple days where we were pushing up and down 400 points at a time, got the 61.8 retracement of that leg, and here we are breaking out, coming right up to the 27. So we have both fib legs lining up there. It's an area of expected resistance. It doesn't mean that the bulls really have to stay there, but that is an expected resistance area. And when you look at the signals on the charts right now, my daily time frame not giving me a very clear bearish signal from the current highs. My 4-hour also not giving me any type of major bullish signal from the highs, except for the fact, and I said this in the news report this morning for my members, that as we break out through yesterday's high, which again was basically our roadmap level there at 83.84, as they break out from there, we very well could start to get a 4-hour bearish signal here. So not out of the realm of possibility this morning that because we're pushing up into that 57.18, 57.20 area, we do have a couple roadmap levels right around there. That is that major fib retracement and fib extension area. And we very well could be pushing up to a new high, getting a 4-hour bearish signal that might lead a pullback. So if we come into these levels this morning, this area around the 57.01 roadmap level, and then the areas up around those roadmap levels, we very well could print a very sexy bearish signal on the 4-hour, which then leads a decent pullback. So that's something to keep in mind here. But on the higher time frames, on the daily, on the weekly, right, and maybe even monthly's too zoomed out to see anything, but we don't have any clues for the bears right now. So outside of some smaller pullbacks, and a smaller pullback could be 50, 100 points in this type of market, maybe even 200 points. Outside of some minor pullbacks, we don't really have any major clues for the bears at the moment. So that tells me we are most likely going to come up, have trouble around that 61.8 area I just qualified, or right up into the major swing area, which is right around here. So if the bulls do continue to break out this morning, this pocket right here, right around 58.40 to 58.50, is a major resistance point. We're looking at a weekly chart, and you can see very clearly how many times the market came right to that 58.50 area, got multiple 100-point pullbacks, and when the market got through there, they used that as a major support area for almost an entire year. And then once the market went ahead and broke out below there, or broke down below there, they came right up, and then that's that March swing high that led this 1,000, 2,000, however many 1,000-point pullback. So if the bulls do end up breaching through that 57.18 area we were just talking about, that is the next higher time frame major resistance area that the bulls are going to contend with, assuming they can continue to push a couple hundred points here. So these are some of the major roadblocks in the market right now. Be aware of those as the bulls start to rip higher, and understand, for those members that have our roadmap levels, each of these major roadmap levels above could be the point of the next major pullback, right? Whether it's the major level we're coming up into right now, or it's one of the others up here. Be aware that each roadmap level above or each roadmap level down below us here could be the scene of the next major rotation, just like we saw the other day right off this roadmap level, just like we saw the other day, the major failure from there that then led a 200-point pullback. Always possible to see a major failure off one of those areas, okay? So that is it for this morning. I hope everybody has a great trading day, and I would love to see some of you join me in the S&P roadmap. I think it's a pretty fair deal, especially considering how accurate these levels are. Like I said, I don't think that there's anywhere else in the world, I will put my money on it, that is as accurate as these levels, because I see them hold to the tick day in, day out. All right, on a 512 tick chart, coming down right to them and getting major rotation. So I'll leave it at that. Enjoy, have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you in the S&P roadmap. Take care.